Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges, the daily show that equips team leaders to lead through the challenges they face every day. So today, I want to talk about if leading today is tougher than it was years ago, like 10 or 20 years ago. And first of all, I want to thank you for listening and sharing this show. Our goal here at CLC Team is to reach as many leaders as possible on a daily basis, to give them tips to help them lead better. Because after all, 70% of leaders get zero training on being a leader. And that's just not right. Every leader should get training. This goal is not possible without you. So thank you for allowing us to reach more leaders. So spread the word. Okay, so let's talk about if leading today is more difficult than it was years ago. Now, it seems every organization that I work with, I hear this a lot. And I'm not sure if I agree. However, one thing that is certain, that leading is definitely different today than it was years ago. And leading is continuously changing based on the people that we're leading. Today's team members are different than years past. Just think about it. They're better educated. They have bigger dreams, it seems, and they want to work in teams, or so all the experts say. And you know what? They are not happy just kind of hanging out at the bottom. They want to get promoted and they want to get mentored. And the higher in the structure that the mentor is, the better. That's the way they want it. And one of the things that I've seen change over the years is the relationships between the leaders and their team members. You know, when I first became a leader, it seemed like the leaders were in their own private bubble, almost unapproachable. Today, I don't think that bubble exists as much as it did in years past. Instead, team members want a closer relationship with their leaders, and leaders must be able to connect in ways that were not even considered in the past. Now, I'm not talking about being your team members' besties, but I am saying that connection involves more than just talking at work or talking about work. With all the technology that has come out over the past 20 years, man, non-work activities and personal experiences have become a part of work life. And it's all at the tips of our fingers now. Everyone has a camera, a recording device, and all the knowledge and information that they can possibly think of right in their pocket. They're also only a text away from anyone that they're connected to. You know, I remember when I first became a leader back early in my Air Force career. When I wasn't at work, there really wasn't any way to contact me unless I was at home or near a phone. You know, the old-fashioned phone, the landline, if you will. And it was one of those plugged-in phones. We didn't have cell phones. And if I was on call, I had to stay close to my landline phone. And man, what a drag that was. And, you know, over the years, as things progressed, we progressed up to beepers that would just send us a phone number and we would have to call that number. Now, that allowed us some room to grow, right? We could actually leave our homes if we had to. And then eventually the cell phone came out. And man, it was like getting out of jail because we had freedom whenever we were on call. We could go about wherever we wanted to go. And just as long as we had that cell phone handy, they could get a hold of us. However, that freedom that we once thought was actually a freedom, I think has now turned more into a convenient way to contact our team members. And now many leaders expect their team members to answer their phones at any time of the day and any day of the week for that matter. The cell phone that once gave us freedom has now made us more accessible and accountable. It has also made us easier to lead and more difficult to lead, both at the same time. I don't think leading is more difficult today than it was 10, 20, or 30 years ago. I just think it's different. I mean, vastly different. And of course, whenever things are different, that means they've changed. And let's face it, change scares a lot of people. Change forces people to think things are tougher. Realistically, we need to be flexible in our leadership. We need to be able to adapt. Now, of course, if you're new to leading, this is the only way that you've ever known to lead. So it's almost easier to adjust for you now. If you are a seasoned leader and have been leading for more than 10 years, each year brings on new challenges. And the bottom line is that leading is about people. And people enjoy communicating and connecting with others. And it seems that communicating and connecting is easier than it's ever been. But sometimes we fight that. And this is why I think the most critical leadership skill is learning to connect with others. And that has never changed. But how we communicate and connect has drastically changed. It has become both easier and more difficult at the same time, depending on how you look at it. Being able to adapt is the key to leadership today. Today's tip is to have a discussion with your team and find out how they like to best communicate. And take notes, even if it's mental notes, so that you can start using those ways to connect with your people better. Hey, that's it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until tomorrow, run to your challenges.